All right, that's what I've been waiting on. Come on, y'all, get on in here, man. We got to talk about some shit today, bro. This is what I've been waiting on. Come holler at your boy. But we here. That's all I've been asking for. I'm gonna go and get right to it. Fuck it. Y'all know I've been highly, highly critical of both Devin and Shakur during these negotiations, fake negotiations, whatever you want to call them. I've been highly critical of both sides. I'm calling it down the middle, how I see the shit, balls and strikes, right? On Devin's side, I've been highly critical because on Devin's side, they've been negotiating with everybody and their mama, their uncle, their cousin baby daddy. I mean, they negotiating with everybody and can't get a deal done. It's been since November. It's been 9 months. Niggas done had kids since your last fight, brother. So I've been highly critical. Like, what is him and Bill doing, right? So they keep blaming everybody else, but there's no accountability coming from within DHP and his fans. They just condone the fucking shenanigans, and that's been one of my main issues. Is that Devin's fans has been condoning the shenanigans, right? So that's been my basic issue with them is that it can't always be everybody's fault. One of my other issues with them is it's clear that they are now out of the legacy business and they into the money business. We have reached the dollar dev part of his career. Like he's in it for the money. I can see that, which is nothing wrong with that. It's just that kind of like 50 Cent destroyed Ja Rule career so that 50 could start doing duets and shit. Remember how he used to criticize ja Rule for doing duets and singing and shit? And then all of a sudden, 50 came, as soon as he got rid of Ja Rule, he coming doing It's the Candy Shop. He coming doing that shit. Well, that's my biggest problem with Dev. It's okay to be about the money, but y'all criticize Tank for doing the shit for so long. But here's why we're here today. My biggest issue has been with Shakur Stevenson because one of his stipulations for taking a deal has been for Devin to drop that belt. And I'm like, why does that matter to you? What does Devin belt have to do with you? If you want the fight, you just take the fight. Whatever happens with him and his belt, that's on him. They ain't got nothing to do with you. Just sign your part. Do your part to make the fight happen and let him handle his business over there. That's been my biggest criticism of Shakur Stevenson throughout this process. That's all I wanted him to do. Take care of your part, let Devin take care of his part. Matter of fact, if I'm Shakur, I don't even want you to drop the belt. I want to see if we can get this fight at 144 since it is welterweight and see if we can get the belt on the line. It's been done multiple times in the past where the belts have still been on the line at a catchweight. So if I'm Shakur, why would I want you to drop the belt? Keep the belt. Let's get it on the line. I could be a 5-division champ. So that was my thinking from Shakur's standpoint. Like, why do you even want this dude to drop the belt? Let him keep it. But even if he doesn't keep it, whatever, that should be irrelevant to you, right? But today, I got what I wanted from Shakur. I got what I wanted to hear from Shakur Stevenson side of the negotiations. The ball is now in Bill and Devin's court. If you can see this tweet up here, the tweet says, trolling can only last so long. It's either me or Key. Lose either way. Now make y'all decision. Now, why is he saying the decision is now on Devin and on Bill? I'm going to show you why he said that. Because in another tweet, let me go. In another tweet, you can see Bill Haney coming with the shenanigans. All right, so in this tweet, Bill is saying Devin Haney doesn't need to drop anything first. Sign the 144 bout agreement or DHP moves on. This is all I wanted to hear from Shakur from the beginning, man. Shakur quotes his tweet and says, "Stop it. My part been signed. You see who I'm with." And that makes all the sense in the world. Because who's throwing this fight, y'all? Who throwing the fight? Zuffa. Zuffa's throwing the fight, and Shakur is already with Zuffa. He's already there. And so when he says he signed his part, I could believe him, because what fight does Zuffa want? Zuffa wants the Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney fight. That's what they're looking for. That's the fight Dana White wants. Tank right now, can't be reliable. I don't think Tank wants to deal with Turkey. Turkey gonna have to really drop a bag for that fight to happen. So this Devin Haney fight is the realistic fight that they can make, because Devin was supposed to be on Zuffa even before Shakur got there. Devin, remember, Bill said they had the $100 million deal. So Devin was supposed to bend. He's supposed to bend on Zuffa. He let Shakur beat him to Zuffa. But all the games are over. All the shenanigans are over. No more talking about this and that. Shakur, to me, this tweet makes it clear. He's on Zuffa, and he's signed and ready to fight. As long as he don't say nothing else about no belts, this is all I wanted to hear from Shakur's side of the table. Now it's up to Bill, up to Devin to stop playing games and go ahead and make y'all decision. Either you're going to drop the belt and you're going to fight Shakur. Now, me, I don't care. When I say drop the belt, I'm saying that because that's what the WBO has already said needs to happen. The WBO has already stepped in here and said that he's mandated to fight Keyshawn Davis. So when I say drop the belt, that's the part I'm talking about. But from Shakur's point of view, that shouldn't matter. Let them handle their business. And so now we got to see what they do. And the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. You see, they've been getting away with blaming everybody else every time a negotiation falls through. DHP, they've been getting away with blaming everybody else. But this time, they done been exposed. This time we can see that it ain't the other party. Shakur is ready. He's locked in. He's signed to Zuffa. He's locked in. He's ready to go. Now it's up to Devin. And look, this may be like, if we're just keeping it 100, Shakur don't have that many options. Devin got the Keyshawn option and the Shakur option. Shakur right now with Zuffa, it's a work in progress. A work in progress. He don't have that many options. This Devin option is his best option outside of going to fight Rayo Venezuela, which he does not want to do. He said he signed with Zuffa for the big fights. I believe that. Well, the big fights are going to come with the name of Devin Haney. Like, I don't see another big fight that Shakur could possibly make. Why? Because he's now going to be fighting on Paramount Plus. Or maybe Netflix. But most likely, Paramount Plus is ready to start getting big names on their platform. They've had Ja Opatai versus, someone nobody else knows. But I think Paramount Plus wants to get the big fights onto their platform now. And so why would DAZN send their fighters over to Paramount Plus besides getting a bag? So is Paramount Plus going to pay DAZN a bag every time they want to get one of their fighters? That's a bad business model. But Devin, he's not with DAZN. He's the one fighter that's not with DAZN, him and Tank. And so it's much easier to get that fight done. Salute, Christopher. Appreciate you for coming through, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, I'm just, look, as far as this Devin and Shakur situation, like I said, I've been trying to call this shit down the middle. I've been critical of both sides. I've been hearing out both sides. I've been hearing what the Shakur fans have said. I've been listening to what the Devin fans have said. And right now, I think this latest tweet from Shakur has pretty much put everything into perspective, that the ball is officially in Bill Haney's court. I was just arguing with people this morning on Twitter about how Shakur just needs to sign his part, man. Like, he doesn't need to keep talking about the belts. He just needs to sign his part and let Devin do what he's going to do. I've been arguing that all morning on Twitter. Because to me, it doesn't matter what Devin does with the belts as far as Shakur is concerned. To me, it shouldn't matter what he does with the belt. If you want the fight, you sign for the fight and let that dude do what he gonna do. That's been my position. But now we can see Shakur has done that. He's come out, he's clarified, yo, I'm ready to go. Yo, what up? We Fight All Night TV. Pound Zuffa era. Zuffa don't cross promote at all, or else Fedor would have been in the UFC. Them dudes don't budge. Only did cross promo for Floyd. Yeah, so again, with that, I just don't see why DAZN knows that Paramount Plus is trying to steal their fighters. They're trying to basically put DAZN out of business and take over the game. So how much money would DAZN need from Paramount Plus to send you their fighters? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I know you're trying to put me out of business, why am I going to send you the product to do it with? Even if I take this short-term payday, in the long run, I know I'm getting fucked over. Why would I agree to that? And so that's the issue. When people say there is no side of the streets anymore, there's definitely a side of the streets. It's the DAZN side and it's Paramount Plus side. Zuffa's with Paramount Plus and with Netflix. Since Zuffa has been going, has Zuffa had any fighters fighting on DAZN? Since Zuffa has started, has they had anybody fight outside of Paramount Plus or Netflix? The answer is no, that I know of. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me on that. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me on that. But Zuffa is strictly Paramount Plus. Zuffa is strictly Netflix. That's who Turkey deals with. So if I'm DAZN, why am I going to send you my fighters and let them put you out of business? So for Shakur, he says he doesn't want to fight Rayo, right? Well, if you don't want to fight Rayo, you got to fight Devin. And so that's what I believe, that's what he's trying to do now. Because everybody else is on that other side of the street. And it's going to be hard to make them fights get done. If you disagree with that point, or you think that it's going to be easy to get them fights done, go ahead and jump in the chat. Let's talk about it. Go ahead and jump on the stream. We can rap about it. But that's not going to be easy, man, to get them fights done. I don't see that. But the games that Bill Haney been playing, the games that Devin is allowing his father to play on Twitter. I think Shakur just put that shit to an end, y'all. Again, I don't have a horse in this race. I like Shakur a little bit more than Devin just because Shakur is less of a hater. I believe Devin and Bill be hating sometimes. But I want to see both of these brothers succeed. I want to see this be one of the best eras of boxing that we've had. But right now they falling behind because they're not getting the fights in. They're not getting the fights in. But Bill Haney can no longer fool the masses, man. Shakur's side of the deal is done. If you really want the fight with Shakur, go ahead and reveal your $100 million deal that you claimed you got with Zuffa and take the fight. What's the holdup, man? Shakur's already there. He's already at the party. He already smoking, drinking, like he already at the party. What's the holdup? When y'all gonna show up? When y'all gonna show up to the party? You know what I'm saying? And then we got this other narrative that Bill wants to run with for today. A narrative of the day. We know how Bill Haney do. The narrative about Keyshawn Davis. He's won more than, like, I think they said he won at 50-50. Let me see if I can find that. But they're saying that Keyshawn wants 50-50 for the Devin fight. So it's just narrative after narrative with them people, man. But I guess Jay Prince was right. He said he got them locked in. They got to make their choice now. I can no longer criticize Shakur, man. Keyshawn is asking for more than 25%. I mean, nobody watching Zuffa anyway. Well, I'll say this about Zuffa. Um, since Zuffa has been on Paramount Plus, the numbers have been released for because UFC and Zuffa Boxing both came to Paramount Plus, right? Since they've been onto that platform, the numbers have been released for the UFC portion, and the UFC portion is doing good. They have not released them numbers for the Zuffa Boxing portion. And the only reason you don't release those numbers is if you don't want people to see how poorly they're doing. So I've caught most of the Zuffa cards. I mean, I watch pretty much all the boxing. If there's some boxing on, I'm going to usually try to catch it. So I've seen most of the Zuffa cards, but it don't appear that those numbers are doing big numbers. It don't appear that they're doing big numbers. Hell, if they're doing big numbers, why won't they release them? You know, why haven't they come out yet? But so if y'all can see this tweet from Artman here, he's saying that Keyshawn wants more than the 25%. I could see that. Why wouldn't if you really want to get the fight done, Devin, if you really want to fight Keyshawn, why would you offer him 25%? Come on, man. Y'all got to stop with this 25% shit. You see, it didn't work with Shakur the first time. Why would you offer him 25%? Offer the man 35%. Get the deal done. Get the fights done, man. But like I said at the beginning of this live, Devin is about the money now. It's no longer about the fights. It's about the money. And so that's why you can see he's asking for, he wants the full 75%. You got to give some leeway and get the fight done. If I'm Keyshawn, I understand one at least 30 to 35%. So I don't see the big gotcha moment there. I don't see the big gotcha moment. Why wouldn't Keyshawn want more than 25%? Why wouldn't you want to give him more than 25 to ensure that the deal is getting done? So that's my question. But I'm definitely happy we got this clarity today. Um, this is all I've been asking for. You know, like I said, I've been arguing with people for a while now. Like, if you Shakur, man, just sign, bro. Tell the people your side of the deal is done. And once you do that, there's no more criticism coming your way as far as with the Devin fight. Now, why you went to Zuffa to begin with, they offered you a bag. I can understand you took the bag. But Shakur fans got to be honest. I know they don't like to hear this. They think everything going to be, roses over there. And it might be. I'm hoping that it is. I want to see the fights. I'm not rooting against the fights getting done. But going to Zuffa, going to Paramount Plus, is going to make it harder for you to fight the zone fighters. That's just simple logic. That's just simple logic, bro. It's difficult to get a DAZN fighter onto. I've never seen a DAZN fighter. I don't know if they sent them over to Paramount Plus yet. I know DAZN fighters have been on Netflix. I know that AJ has been on Netflix. I haven't seen any DAZN fighters on Paramount Plus. Could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know, comment, or you can hit the link and come up and rap if you got something to say. But if I'm wrong, let me know. But I don't think any DAZN fighters has been on Zuffa. They have been on Netflix. And these are big money fights that have been on Netflix. This is Jake Paul paying out the ass to get AJ over to Netflix. Now, we see the holdup with this Ryan Garcia and this Conor Ben fight. We see the holdup. What's the holdup? The holdup is the platform. That's the holdup. Is it going to be on DAZN? Is it going to be on Netflix? Is it going to be on Paramount Plus? That's the holdup. So going to Zuffa is not going to make it easier to get the fights done. That's just, I don't know, that's common sense. So if you're really about getting fights done, I think, going to Zuffa doesn't really demonstrate that. That's just my opinion. Again, you disagree, hit the link, come and let me know. But how could it possibly be easier? How could it possibly be easier to get fights done on Zuffa? So has Bill tweeted since Shakur dropped that tweet? Let me see. Has Bill tweeted anything since then? No, I don't think so. See, that shit might have just killed all the narratives, man. That shit might have just killed all the narratives. It's like, but I'm of the mindset, I think we get this fight done next. I think this is the fight we get done next. I think it will be Devin and Shakur. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. Devin Haney has made it clear he's about the money now. Shakur Stevenson has made it clear the number one thing they want is the bag. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is prize fucking fighting. Go get your money, man. There's nothing wrong with that. But just say that. Make that clear. I'm here for the bag. Salute, Pat. Right on for checking in, brother. Got a little boots topic coming up a little later. But right now we're talking about this Shakur and Devin ongoing negotiations, the never ending. But I think Shakur might have just ended that shit. Like I say, man, I've been on Shakur ass about all the roadblocks he's been putting up. You know, when you're a fan, it's hard to see what's going on. You know, from your fan, you looking at it through these Shakur colored lenses. Yeah, the Pivot podcast with Boots, that was good. I'm gonna get into a little bit of that today. Yeah, so I'm gonna get into a little bit of that a little bit later here. Yeah, that was good. We got a lot of people saying that was his best interview. Cause I mean he's actually in building. It's not over, the internet or whatever. He's in there. They got personalities to help bring out his personality. So that was a hell of a podcast. So I'm gonna touch on that just here in a second. I just want to make sure I get all my thoughts out on Shakur and Devin. And if anybody else got anything to say or you disagree, like I said, hit the link, come up on the panel, or just let me know in the comments if you disagree. But to summarize, I have been highly critical of Shakur for even speaking on the belts. Why even speak on the belt? That got nothing to do with you. They want to fight at 144. You said 144. Sign on the paper. Sign your name on the dotted line. Now you know you solidified. You locked into the fight. Whatever happens after that is on Devin and on Bill. Let them deal with the WBO, right? Let Keyshawn and Jay Prince deal with Devin and the WBO. You don't like as Shakur, you take care of your business to get the fight done, bro. Like that's all it is to it. But I'm like I said, man, I'm happy we got that clarity. But let's go ahead and get into this boot situation. If nobody else got nothing to say about Shakur and Devin, we're gonna go ahead and get into this boot situation. So Showbiz the adult had a little live today, and he was saying that Boots and Ortiz was in the works. All right, let me go ahead and pull up Showbiz here. Yeah, he's saying that fight's done for the fifth time. We've heard that bullshit. Well, he didn't say it was done, but he said that it's close to done. So we're gonna see. I'll believe it when I see it, right? We've heard this shit so many times with Boots and Ortiz. All right. But yeah, that was a great interview. That was one of Boots' best interviews I've seen him do.
Regan, they all came to me, asked me what I think about the fight. I said, let's do it. There's no need to wait for that fight. There's no need to get a fight before that. Like a lot of people
Wow.
might think that Vergil needs a fight before that. No, he doesn't. Virgil fought less than a year ago. There's world champions right now that don't fight, that fight once a year or once every 18 months, and nobody says they're out of timing because of the delay. No, Virgil fought, less than a year ago. People seem to forget his performance against Madrimov. Virgil's active. Virgil's busy. We don't need to get a fight before that. The fight will happen. The only thing that could stop the fight is if Boots decides not to fight. But the fight on our side, I was the one that like I told you guys, Eric Gomez, Senior, Rick. I said, let's do it. There's no question. There's no doubt that we win this fight. So we're on our side. It's a done deal.
On our side, it's a done deal.
All right, so Pat say, "Damn, I wanted Ortiz to be frozen out." So look, man. Here's what I think. We already covered that Robert Garcia statement. I covered that in the live a few days ago, right? And we know that that's just a narrative from their side. They're trying to apply pressure to Boots to take the Ortiz fight next. But Boots has made it clear that he wants the belts. He's made that clear. And you can't criticize a man for chasing the belts, especially after he already signed to fight you and you wasted 4 months of his career. You wasted 3-4 months of Ben Whitaker's career. Like, so you can't obligate him to get in that fight. But Showbizz, like, he just kind of jumps to believe some of these things.
Vergil Ortiz don't need a tune-up. He just fought. Fundora, PBC, came on home with his own war room. Fundora is fighting as mandatory. Already agreed to that before Boots and Xander Zayas fought. So Fundora, he's busy. He says it's up to Boots.
So Fundora is supposedly busy, but if Boots really wants that Fundora fight, we all know there's ways around a mandatory. We all know that Mauricio Suleiman will definitely prefer to have his WBC belt up for Boots versus Fundora than for Fundora versus Akabijab, whoever he's supposed to be fighting. I forget the dude's name. We know he wants the sanctioning fees from Boots Fundora over the sanctioning fees from that fight, right? He won his 3%. You want your 3% of the biggest piece of pie, not the smallest. So just like Shakram Giasov got step-aside money and so many countless others, there could be step-aside money paid to Fundora's mandatory to get that fight done. So let's just not assume that he's busy. We understand what Samson Likowitz said. That could just be lobbying to get, that could be negotiation tactics, or it could be 2027 until they fight. We'll see. But I wouldn't jump the gun and just say, they're busy and there's no way around getting that fight.
He says it's up to Boots. Listen, check this out. Vergil Ortiz was Boots was the problem. He ducked first. I'm sorry, Boots. You my guy. But I really feel like you ducked first. I think Vergil Ortiz ducked the second time. Sorry, Vergil Ortiz. I thought you ducked the second time. All right. But now, so you have that situation with Oscar Rick Meridian, which we're going to talk about. But now they said that they are all good on their side. It's a go on their side. Now it's up to Boots. Boots had that whole I'm the money man talk. Everybody go through me. He's unified champion. Definitely Vergil Ortiz want to be champion. So now they stands up, especially after you saw some vulnerability in Boots against Xander Zayas when he got rocked. What was that, the third round? Okay. Boots took the fight. Ortiz ducked that second time, right? And Boots ducked the first time, right? Because Ortiz took the fight. Remember, it was going to be on the boxing card of the century. Remember that? Okay.
All right, so that's Cap. That's Cap from Showbiz. How could you possibly duck an intern in Saudi Arabia over fighting for the Ring Magazine, the Lineal Championship in Atlantic City? How could that possibly be a duck? Besides, they already were in negotiations for the Stanionis fight. Boots had already said that. So how could you duck Vergil Ortiz? That's Cap. Now, if we're going to be fair, if you want to say that Boots ducked, if you just itching to call somebody a fighter a duck, which it seems like so many guys that have media platforms, they just love to call fighters ducks, right? If you want to say that Boots ducked, you would have been better off saying for the fight in October. Because Boots and Vergil both fought in October at 154. Boots and Eddie, they said that the fight with Vergil, they said that when they called Vergil to get the fight done, Boots and Eddie wanted to fight Vergil in August. They said when they called Vergil to get the fight done, he had a hand injury, which he did have a hand injury. But Boots didn't end up fighting till October. So if you weren't going to fight till October, you could have fought Vergil in October. So if somebody wants to say Boots ducked in that situation, I would still call Cap, because you don't duck somebody. Like, it's not a duck if you say, I'm going to fight you for the next fight. That's not a duck. What I believe happened is, I believe Boots did want a top 10 fight. I believe he wanted Boychuk first. Boychuk went to fight Brandon Adams. Instead, he fought Brandon Adams on Netflix instead of fighting Boots. And I also believe that Matchroom was at the end of their deal with DAZN, and they wanted to have leverage with the Ortiz and the Ennis fight for their next contract. They wanted to have that leverage piece in negotiations. So I don't think Eddie really wanted to give DAZN Boots and Vergil in October before they had this new contract set. That's why once they got the new contract set, at Vergil fight, Boots and Eddie shows up there, because they know that they wouldn't fight till next year when the new contract kicked in. So I believe that's what really happened. But I don't think it's a duck if you say, okay, I'll fight you, Vergil, but you had 2 tune-ups when you first got to 154. Then you fought Madrimov. Then you fought Lubin. First you fought Boychuk. So you've had 5 fights at 154. Let me get at least one fight in before we bang. You know what I'm saying? That's not a duck. Let me get an acclamation fight in. Let me get an intern belt. You're intern champion. Let me get a little intern belt and put myself in position. Like he said, this is chess, not checkers. So they put themselves in position to get the Xander fight and fight for 2 belts. So I wouldn't call that a duck. But if you wanted to call something a duck, that's the one I would call a duck. As a Boots, as somebody that's a big believer in Boots and his talent, if you want to call that a duck, call that a duck. Don't call the one where the man fights Stanionis. You can't duck Vergil to fight Amantis Stanionis. Amantis Stanionis is a former Olympian, an undefeated champion. He's the number 2 guy in the division for the ring and for the lineal championship, and it's in America. Like, how is that ducking to go fight somebody in an empty stadium in Saudi Arabia for an intern championship? So that was Cap right there.
But we don't want to debate that. People start crying. We don't need the tears right now. Let's stay on this. So The problem was Rick Meridian and Oscar De La Hoya. Remember the lawsuits and all that stuff? They spoke on that too. Algieri brought it up. They spoke on that too. Here's the receipts on that.
So all the hubbub about the contract disputes and everything on Vergil, that gets set aside now, right, Coach?
It's all set aside and it's all worked out already.
So
See,
Oscar and Vergil are good now, and now we're actually moving forward. And
It's all been worked out. Yes.
Right now,
It's all been worked out. Oscar and Vergil Ortiz and Rick Meridian, it's all been worked out. There was a minute where Oscar was like, I'm going to sit Vergil Ortiz on the shelf for 3 years. I said, then that's it. I was done. And right? He's gone. Hit the Tyson bell. But it's all been worked out. Oscar De La Hoya said himself that he's working on that fight. For some reason, I didn't find that clip. But we do have this. Here's some more receipts, everybody. We're receipted up with this so we can talk about it in a more educated fashion. Here's what Mike Coppinger had to say on Inside the Ring about it. Check this out.
I spoke to Vergil Ortiz's manager this morning, Rick Meridian, and he said that they are pursuing heavily this Boots Ennis fight. Now, we've been talking about this fight forever now, right? Boots and Vergil were supposed to fight in April. Vergil entered legal proceedings with Golden Boy. They have it to September 4th to clear that up, and it looks like that's going to be cleared up without having the arbitrator rule max. They want that fight badly, and Meridian said that he spoke to Eric Gomez, the president of Golden Boy, and he's working on the fight now. So I hope we see it next. I'm a little doubtful it will be next, but Vergil certainly wants it. And again, Virgil's another guy. He has not fought yet in 2026.
Now, why is Mike doubtful? Why is Mike doubtful? I'll tell you why Mike doubtful. Because Mike, he knows better. He knows that Boots is going for the belts now. He knows that.
That sounds good too. Somebody brought up a question, said, I'm confused. Why are we listening to the trainer? You shouldn't be confused. That's like for sure you listen to the trainer. The trainer gives advice to the fighter on do he think the fighter is ready to take that fight next in preparation. The trainer, especially somebody as respected as Robert Garcia, has a lot to say, especially insight on the mentality of the fighter and of the team. When they said, do you need a tune-up fight? He says, no. That's good information from the trainer. Anybody from that team, you shouldn't be confused. If it came from Vergil Ortiz, don't be confused, especially his trainer. Don't be confused. All right. Then his manager. It's not one person that has to say so. It is a team. It's a collective. So as many people from the team saying yes to it, that's a good sign. All right. So now you just heard what Mike Coppinger had to say. Hold on. Let me see. I heard the Boots versus Vergil will be for the lineal. Oh, they're going to okay, that's fine. That sounds.
Yeah, that would be for the Ring magazine. That would be the one big advantage of getting the Vergil fight. I wonder how important that is to Boots. Like, I wonder how he values the Ring magazine compared to the WBC and the IBF. What up, Marcus? Marcus say, I'm watching wherever the good fights get made at. Yeah, me too. I'm wherever the fights get made at, that's where I'm at. And so here's the key. I'm going to just touch on your point for a second, Marcus. With Paramount Plus, if we can get the fights over there, guess what? There's no pay-per-view on Paramount Plus. At least there's not with UFC. So hopefully, I'm assuming that will be the same with boxing. So if we go to Paramount Plus, that's the one perk we would have, which is a great fucking perk to have, is no pay-per-view. Right? With the DAZN, now the thing about DAZN is international. Paramount Plus is just an American thing. DAZN is international. So they're streaming everywhere. So Paramount Plus will give the boxers more exposure in the US, but DAZN will give them more exposure internationally. So I'm kind of torn on that. because boxers aren't like NBA players or NFL players to where they get 16 games or 82 games a year. They get anywhere from 1 to 3, 4 on a great year. Most guys not fighting 4 times. Most guys not even fighting 3 times. Hell, a lot of these guys lucky to fight 1 time a year. And so with that being said, it's kind of hard for them to get their money because they don't have all these games to play to get money from. So pay-per-view is kind of necessary for them to get paid. So I'm kind of torn on that. I mean, selfishly for me, I would want it on Paramount Plus. I don't have to pay extra for a DAZN Ultimate package, selfishly. And for the fans, like that's probably where our rooting interest would be. But then again, you're no longer paying the fighters what they're worth. You're paying them like UFC fighters. So does that ultimately hurt the sport in the long run? Because now we're not getting the best athletes to want to box. You know what I'm saying? If boxing, for some reason, let's say boxers, like the worst boxers started to make $5 million a year. That's the worst boxers. Do you know how much better the sport would become? Because everybody wouldn't be trying to get into football and basketball. You know, they could come over to boxing and get the big paydays and make some good money. So that would actually help the sport. So imagine if the boxers are making $750K or $500K or $300K a fight like some of these UFC fighters. The talent pool is going to diminish so damn quickly. Who wants to come play for pennies? So that's kind of the advantages and the disadvantage of being on Paramount Plus or DAZN. On DAZN, I think the boxers will get their money worth because they can still get the pay-per-view money, and we would have a better talent pool at that point. If they go to Paramount Plus, we would get it for cheaper, but then, like they say, you get what you pay for. I think the talent pool of fighters, I think that quality could dwindle.
About right. Let me see. Love you, boy. Thank you so much. Now, let's talk. Let's talk. That's not just any trainer, right? He probably hasn't. Right. It's Robert Garcia. He doesn't know who Robert Garcia is, but that's okay though. There's a lot of casuals. That's why you come here, right? Let's get some information out there and help shape them. So let's move forward. You heard what Mike Coppinger had to say. All right. Now, let's check out what Rick Meridian, his manager. So this guy here, right? But they've been confusing us. I haven't been confused. But this guy here, he needs to know more. So here's Rick Meridian, right? The manager. The manager says this: let's start the week off right tomorrow at DAZN Boxing. The fight that the world is waiting for. Is this the best fight in the sport to make? Rick Meridian talking to DAZN. Don't forget, it was DAZN who was saying that we got to make this fight next. Remember? DAZN was on board pressing for the fight.
Okay, so the more Rick Meridian talks, the less I think that this fight is even in the works, or the less I think this fight gets done. As we learned, as we see, true fight negotiations do not happen online. If you're really working with DAZN, why the hell are you on Instagram talking about that? How does that help the fight get? You got a number to the DAZN executives, right? You could call them up, right? So why the fuck are you on Instagram talking about it? That means you're trying to get their attention. That means that what we're assuming is that they're all in. Obviously, they're not all in, because if they were, why would this post be necessary? So we all read into this shit differently. Showbiz reads positivity. He reads that this is a good sign. I read that this is a horrible sign. Why the hell would you be online talking if you already talking to DAZN privately? It just don't make sense. Yeah, Rick talking crazy. It's no way it happens. Yeah, I showed y'all last week when he was talking about the fake belts and all of that. Like, whenever you start trying to delegitimize a person's belts and accomplishments, and you're trying to fight that person, that lets me know that you're just negotiating. You're not willing to take fair value. You want more than your value. Like if Boots is coming in with 2 belts, if he's coming in as the bigger draw, you can't expect 50-50 still, Rick. If that's still what you're expecting, come on, brother. Ain't no fight happening.
Rick Meridian wasn't all the way on board with what Oscar was talking about. So that was the confusion. Oscar and Rick Meridian was kind of bumping heads, but not DAZN. DAZN was pushing for the fight. Rick Meridian is saying, okay, DAZN, we're on the same page. Let's start tomorrow. So for the guy who is confused, that's coming from the manager. If you're still confused, I don't know what to tell you, brother. But what I'm saying is everybody on Vergil Ortiz's side, just like the trainer said, who you didn't want to listen to. Thank goodness I had receipts from everything else showing that the trainer, Robert Garcia, was right. Everybody on Vergil Ortiz's side, it's a go. So I'm saying it looks like Boots and Vergil Ortiz can definitely be a go. Let me see. Robert was downplaying before. Now he's not. We'll see. 100%. Now Fedora want to fight Mandos, but duck Bud.
Okay. So as he said there, everybody on Vergil Ortiz's side appears to be a go. I'm trying to see, like, of course that's a go. This, like Boots told y'all, he's the big money fight in the division. So of course you're ready to fight now. Of course you're ready to fight now if you done wasted 4 months of the man's life. But that don't mean we close to getting the fight done, because what is Jaron Ennis saying? Is he saying that he's ready to fight Vergil Ortiz? Because the only thing I've heard from Jaron Ennis is about them belts. Right? And so Jaron Ennis was on the Pivot podcast today. And he didn't mention Vergil Ortiz. He didn't mention no Vergil Ortiz. Let's see who Boots mentioned on the Pivot podcast today.
We're going to try to fight the best person that's out there, no matter what the consequences of a loss are. To me, those are the boxers that I love, because you like, man, the next one up is the next one up. For you, when y'all start planning on what the next steps are, how collaborative is that, or do you allow management and your pops to handle that?
It's like perfect timing for me, and everything be happening at the right time.
And Ortiz fell through. What about the big old 6'6" boy?
I want him.
Fundora?
I want him.
Fundora?
He's 6'6".
I don't care.
I don't care. You go get inside?
Bring him on. You're going to see. Fight night. You're going to see. I'm really different. And I got really can show different like attributes. And like I said, these guys don't do what I do. And y'all see as I keep going up and keep fighting these different guys and fighting better competition, I'm going to keep getting better and better. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
What happens to a boxer when you are caught, though? Right? Like,
all right, so we got Vergil Ortiz team saying that they ready for the fight. But that's not what Boots saying. Boots still saying he wants Fundora. Boots still saying he wants to go undisputed as soon as possible. So it takes 2 to tango, bro. It takes 2 to make the fight. So I don't believe that this fight is almost done. Not for 1 second. I know Rick Meridian was also saying, or not Rick Meridian, Rick Glazer. I know I don't really trust him as a source, but I know he was also saying that the fight was almost done. But I haven't heard anything from Eddie. I haven't heard anything from Boots about Ortiz fight being done. And I think the zone will have to throw like an exorbitant amount of money towards Boots to get him to bypass his personal goals and backtrack. This is a backtrack to Vergil Ortiz. Again, Vergil does have that ring belt. How does Boot rate the ring belt to the WBC and the IBF belt? I don't know. I would love to hear him answer that question. But low key, he may be already answering that question by letting us know that right now he wants to go undisputed. Right now he wants to go undisputed. And so Showbizz the adult and Rick Glazer, they can get excited about a Vergil Ortiz fight. And but honestly, I don't, until I hear from Boots, it's just talk. And as long as Rick Meridian is on Instagram talking shit, he already ruined the fight once. So as long as he's still running his mouth, then I'm going to assume that the fight isn't done. Or nowhere near close to done. But let's listen to some more of this Boots interview.
I remember I was little and Shane punched me in my nose.
What was his name?
Shane. Right? At this point, Boots, I was undefeated in the streets. Right? I was undefeated 11-year-old Chan. You know what I mean? Shane was a little taller, had to reach on me.
Yeah.
Shane jabbed me in my nose. I couldn't see for the next 5 minutes. My eyes was watering. Right? It was fight or flight at that point. Now we just swinging. I didn't grabbed, I didn't dumped. Because all I knew was I never want to get punched in the nose again. Freddie T was talking about that third round where you say you were caught, and you kind of explained to us what it looks like when a fighter is hurt. For someone like you who has been planning this life since he could remember, take us through the thought process of, okay, I'm caught. Now here is how I have to react, compose myself in order to stay in and win this fight.
You just in moments like that, like I said, I was trying to calm him down. So you gotta stay calm. You gotta be calm. You can't get hyped with him, and then next thing you know, he going all crazy. He catch you some more. So you gotta be calm and just be patient. And I was trying to catch him in between, and that's how I end up hurting him. You know, within 3 seconds later, because I was catching him between the shot while he was throwing. You just gotta be calm and trust yourself. And trust your conditioning, your skills, your ability, and it'll work out.
When you get punched in your nose, it must not feel like when Shane punched me in my nose then. Shane punched me into a different person. I wasn't even myself. I wasn't even myself.
He gave you a cherry water ice.
Yeah.
He gave you a bloody nose, cherry water ice.
Man. Can you train for that?
What?
Like, can you train for? Like RC said, can you train for getting punched in your nose? And like, I just got hit in my face.
Defense.
My nose leaking.
You got to work on your defense. You don't want to get hit. Yeah.
I need to stay calm, and I don't need to panic.
Look, man, I don't know about this Boots guy, man. Dude might be crazy, man. He say when he get punched or he just remain calm. But when we seen it in the fight with Xander, he ain't lying, bro. When he got hit, when his head went back and like they say, he looked at God, that motherfucker didn't panic, man. He bit down and that motherfucker start throwing back. Then we seen him fucking slip like 4 shots in a row. Like that motherfucker remains calm under pressure. Like that nigga would have been a hell of a fucking jewel thief. That motherfucker remains calm under pressure. He would have been the type of nigga I want to go and do a lick with, cause shit.
Man, she don't punch me in my like,
No,
you
facts.
train for that?
You gotta have a great mindset. For if you get hit, you gotta be in mindset like I don't feel it, or like something like that. Like you feel me?
Yeah,
You can't let it. You can't let. He said I don't.
I do TV. I don't box.
No, you gotta like put in your mindset though. Like yo, like even if I do get hit, like don't get hyped. Don't panic. Like don't go crazy, because you're gonna get it.
But see, I understand his mindset, and if he was hurt, that's probably just his mindset to not even admit I was hurt. I can't even think like that. You know what I'm saying? That's probably his mindset as a fighter. Is like, I don't even recognize it. I'm gonna try not to recognize it. I don't want my opponent to recognize it. It's like if you ever watch LeBron on the court, LeBron always say, I'm not tired. I don't get tired. And we could see the nigga clearly tired. But it's his mindset of saying, you know, I don't get tired. I'm not tired. It's not letting his mind believe that his body is tired. And kind of letting his mind push him through that moment. And so when Boots saying he don't feel it, I kind of, I could see where he's coming from. Like, he's not trying to let his mind succumb to that, to that pain or to being dizzy or buzzed or whatever.
Back eventually, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, Boots, if you have one wish where you can close your eyes and visualize the perfect setting, location, boxer, past or present, where would it be? Who would it be? And how would it go down?
That's a good question.
He's clearly never thought about that.
I didn't. That was a great question.
You ever coming up, you ever have any boxers you idolize or any boxer you say, you know what, I can beat him,
coming up, I always watch Floyd, I always watch Roy, Pernell, Sugar Leonard, Muhammad Ali, like Mike Tyson. Like, I watch those guys coming up, and I ain't gonna lie, I would love to fight Floyd. That Floyd, that's to be able to be in the ring with him and pick his brain, and I feel like fighting a guy like Floyd, that take my skills to the next level for
right.
And I'll say Floyd probably.
Where would it be?
Atlanta.
In that.
Ooh, Floyd in Atlanta. Yeah, that'll be nice. I don't even want to get into the matchup or like who would win or none of that. Cause niggas will get mad at me, bro. So I ain't even gonna get into the matchup. But that'll be nice, bro. Floyd versus Boots in Atlanta. That'll be a hell of a matchup, bro. Boots a little bit taller. Boots 5'10", Floyd 5'8". I think they both got a 74-inch reach. I think Floyd got the slight advantage on hand speed. Of course, ring IQ, all that shit, technical, all that shit Floyd got. But Boots got that mentality. He got that advantage on mentality of inflicting pain. So Boots got the power. Boots got the creativity advantage. A lot of the shit he learned from Floyd. I need to see more with Boots. I'm going with my guy Floyd Mayweather. Oh yeah, for sure. Floyd got to be favored, and Boots don't have the resume to be favored in a fight like that. But I ain't gonna tell y'all who I'm picking because I don't want to make niggas mad. But yeah, because I'm gonna just tell you this. I'm gonna just say this. Boots is bigger than Floyd. He's not as fast, but he's damn near as fast. And that motherfucker powerful. And Floyd ain't never fought nobody like that. And of course, Boots ain't fought nobody close to Floyd. Probably the closest thing Floyd fought to a Boots is probably Sugar Shane, but Sugar Shane was old, and Floyd was older too. That's probably the closest thing to a nigga with hand speed and good power. But Boots is way bigger than Sugar Shane. So yeah, that'll be a goodie, man. Cause they styles would clash like so well, man. So well. My dream fight for Boots would be Bud in Omaha, Nebraska. That's what I would want to see. I would want to see that nigga stomp a hole in mud, a motherfucking mud hole in Bud ass in front of all his fans.
A?
Yeah, in the A. I love the A. I'm actually trying to get my next fight in the A right now. So hopefully we can be in the A.
Is it State Farm?
State Farm, yeah. Yeah. I love Atlanta though. You know, the atmosphere is crazy. Like especially with like when it comes to boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, and too, they know how to throw a party.
That's what I'm saying. And when you in the A, I kind of like feel like Philly a little bit to me. So like I feel like at home when I'm in the A a little bit. So yeah, I would say the A.
When you
So he trying to get that next fight in the A. Hold on, what you say, Christopher? Chris say I think Floyd will figure it out just like he did Shane Mosley. Yeah, it wouldn't be just like no Shane Mosley though. Boots is a totally different package, man. Like, bro, this is what I'm saying, dog. You got Sugar Shane, right? But Boots is switching to, once around. He coming for both angles, and he got creativity that Sugar Shane just don't have. Like, he throwing punches from all different angles, and he got way more power than Sugar Shane. And Floyd and Sugar Shane was about the same height, I think, or Floyd might even be a little taller. Boots is like 2 inches taller than Floyd. Like, Floyd would have been punching up at him. Like, I'm telling y'all, most people would take Floyd easily. Easily. You taking Floyd, right? But I don't think it will be as easy as people think it would be, bro. Like, you got to actually visualize a nigga in the ring who's bigger than you and nearly just as fast as you, but with way more power. And who got a fucked up mindset, like he constantly coming after you. Do you have enough power to keep this nigga off your ass? That's one we got to see that we'll never see, but that's one we would have had to see. But I definitely feel you, bro. Floyd the GOAT, man. Floyd the GOAT. He the best to ever do it. But I think Boots can get there. That's what I'm saying. I think Boots can make it to that Floyd level and maybe even pass him. But yeah, he said the next fight in Atlanta, Josh Kelly in Atlanta. You're gonna make it black versus white in Atlanta. The UK flight over to Atlanta. I'm not sure about the flight over to Atlanta. I know the UK flight to New York is easy. So how many UK fans could Josh Kelly get to Atlanta? Now Boots versus Vergil in Atlanta or Fundora in Atlanta. That go hard right there. That go hard. So I would love to see Boots' next fight in Atlanta.
You look at not necessarily the way people fight, but the way fighters are, right? Like, I love listening to Andre Ward and Roy talk about the beautiful art of fighting, right? There's a way that you have to approach it. How much of fighting do you believe is skill as opposed to how much of fighting is up here? Like, how much of it is physical, I should say, and how much of it is the way to think through a fight?
Boots' answer on this is kind of different from most people's answer.
Like, it's 50-50. Like, yeah, you gotta have the skills and ability, but you gotta have the mindset too. Like, you gotta know in your.
See, Boots is saying 50-50. When I usually hear athletes talk about sports, a lot of them say it's more mental, more 60, 70%, more mental. So Yo, what's up, fellas? What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? How
Nerd,
you doing, man?
chilling, brother, chilling.
Uh, I know
Oh,
you
that's
was talking
Christopher.
earlier. Yeah, I'm the CW, man. But you call me Christopher.
Oh, CW. Okay, I got you, bro. What's up, bro?
Hey, man. I wanted to holler at you a little bit about what you was talking about earlier, but we can talk about Boots too. But
Oh,
you said about Stevenson, about it's gonna be harder him to make fights with the big fights, with Dana White and stuff like that. And I think um, the Roach fight, I think they can make that fight because both of those fighters wants to fight. I'm looking at it like that. If the fighter wants to fight, I believe that they can make it happen with DAZN and them. Just like what happened with Xander and Boots, by the way.
yeah,
But
we could definitely jump. Yeah, we could definitely jump back into that. That's what the show was mainly about. Was the Shakur finally saying that he signed his side of the deal? To me, that was big news of the day. But look, if we're just talking about Zuffa, so with your example with the Roach fight, I don't think that fight's so easy to make because Roach is under Golden Boy and Golden Boy is under DAZN. So why would DAZN send their fight? Like, okay, you say it's easy to make. Let me ask you this: what network is it
no,
being played on?
no, I'm not saying it's easy to make, but it should be like because both of those fighters want to fight. Roach and Shakur, they've been talking about that for a long time. So if the fighters want to fight, just like DAZN made the Boots and the Xander fight, I believe that's my angle that they can make that fight happen. I don't really know about like Devin Haney, Tank, and all them. They kind of talk, but they ain't about action. Like I'm just thinking about that fight straight up.
Well, but see, here's my problem with that though. Like, if Shakur was on DAZN, it would be easy to make. But if he's on Paramount Plus, is it really easy to make?
I don't know. Like um, like I know the zone. I think Turkey. I don't know, but I think Turkey kind of like he has his hand in that too.
He
So
owns
you
10%.
never
He
know.
owns 10% of DAZN. Turkey does,
Something
but
like
but
that. Something like
but
that. So I don't know. I don't know.
he don't have major say so in DAZN though, because it's only 10%, and so
Yeah.
and so you got Paramount Plus as a whole network. And so with that whole network, they're going to want to air the fights on their network. And so if you got Shakur versus Roach, they want to air that on Paramount Plus. But the zone's like, why the hell is we sending our fighter over to Paramount Plus? And so Paramount Plus would have to pay the zone a nice little bundle of money to get that fighter over to their broadcasting, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Which
at the end of the
which
day, it's all
could
about the money.
it's all about the money, which could happen, right? But how many times
Yeah.
can they do that? That's not a successful business model. Like every time you want to
Makes
fight,
sense.
you're going to pay somebody from the zone to come over there. Like you're paying extra every time. So yeah, that's my problem with it. I think the fights can be made if the money is there, but is there enough money? Well, there's enough money, but like, is it a successful business model? Like, how many times they gonna do that?
I mean, it makes sense, man. Like I'm really here to like no, try to figure out questions, So that's why I was like, I like to, talk about that. Like in the chat, you want to understand what I was trying to say when we talk about business, but it's like, man,
Nah,
let me come up here
yeah, I
and
feel
holler
you.
at you, bro.
Nah, I feel you. Nah, I think those fights can be made. I think a couple of them will be made, but I do think it will be a little bit. There's just another step there's just another step in the process, right?
Yeah.
As far as now, if Roach wants to fight, Dalton Smith, for the WBC title, that's two DAZN fighters. That's Matchroom and Golden Boy. They come together simple. They get their budget from DAZN. They make the fight. There's no network issues. With Paramount Plus, it brings in an extra network issue. So,
all right, understand.
what's up,
Hey,
Mr. Nerd? What's up, Nerd? Your mic working?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
yeah.
hear you. What's good, bro?
I'm chilling, brother. How you doing?
Chilling, man. Still at it. What's on your mind?
I'm glad that Shakur has signed his side of the deal according to him. That's great. I prefer the Shakur Haney fight simply because they're like paired together in accolades, both on the pound for pound list. Keyshawn is as much as Keyshawn can possibly win, I still think he needs like one or two more fights at that level because he really hasn't fought anywhere close to Haney's to Haney level opponent. You know, maybe a fight with Norman, maybe even a unification, and maybe down the line, depending on who wins between Shakur and Haney. But as much as Keyshawn can definitely win, because people are saying Keyshawn can win, and he most definitely can. I just feel like experience, the way Haney can dictate the fight, and Keyshawn's mental. I don't know. I don't know if Keyshawn will be able to handle that because of previous mental lapses in the past when it comes to how he reacted backstage. That was just a year ago. That was pretty recent.
Yeah.
Right? And the weight and not getting the weight under control. Like little things like that. I think he just needs maybe one or two more fights to really settle into himself at welterweight. Right? And see what the future beholds. But like I feel like Shakur and Haney are at the same level. Shakur is a 4-division champion, 2-time lineal. Devin is a 3-division champion, 1-time lineal, 1-time undisputed. Pretty similar in accolades. Shakur beat Tiafimo and Oscar Valdez. Haney beat Lomachenko, Brian Norman. Controversial loss or draw, whatever, no contest against Ryan Garcia, cheating bastard. But yeah, man, I feel like they're at the same level. The winner of that fight between Haney and Shakur, more on the line, doesn't really need a belt. It'll be better with a belt. And this is what I don't like about boxing now. They're just destroying the belts. Yes, they're corrupt. Yes, but they've always been corrupt. They've always been corrupt. But at the same time, the belt brings traction. It brings clout. We wouldn't know about Canelo Alvarez, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, all these different guys without a belt being around their waist. The belt is the most important thing in boxing. The ring belt. So you can't trash the thing that makes boxing what it is. The NBA is nothing without the NBA finals, the NBA championship. Championships do matter. That is the most important. You went into boxing to be a world champion like your predecessors and the ones that come before. You wanted to be the champ. You wanted to be the guy. That was the goal coming into boxing. Now we want to be best friends. Now we want to make money. Those don't matter. This generation is just weird.
Here's the thing, though, bro. Like, of course, yes, the sanctioning bodies have some corrupt activities that they engage in, but so does the NBA, so does the NFL,
exactly.
So does the UFC.
Oh, they're worse. They're so much worse. Yeah, I agree.
And so we just trading one devil for another one. And like they say, man, go with the devil you know. And it's the one we know. This is the one. This is the history of boxing. Here's one of my biggest problems with it. If Zuffa gonna take over, make it a quick takeover. Just go ahead, fucking buy the zone and get that shit out the way. I don't want to see a slow takeover, and then I don't know how to judge these fighters' legacies. I don't know how to judge, okay, Shakur's winning a Zuffa belt, but Boots is going undisputed with the 4 sanctioning bodies. How the fuck are we judging that? Automatically, I'm a judge the sanctioning bodies a little bit higher because that's what I'm used to. That's what I know. But if all these fighters start going over to Zuffa and it's kind of a tug of war, it's like, damn, bro, how do we even judge what they accomplishing? You know what I mean?
You know what? I give it another generation and I'll probably die. The belts will probably die out. Out with the old, in with the new. Zuffa's a new thing on the block. It's an ugly ass belt too. I don't think it looks good at all. It's a very, very displeasing looking belt. Gray, depressing, nothing cute about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least if you're gonna have a belt, make it look appeasing to the eye. Give it some color. Give it something. You give us a gray belt that has Zuffa on it. Zuffa. What is that, bro? You know what I mean? Like,
that fucking black belt ugly as shit.
Like, bro, what the hell is that, man? Give it some pizzazz. Give it color. Give it something the eyes will. Oh wow, that looks pretty. You know what I mean? Something I want that. Like, who's gonna want that gray ugly piece of shit?
Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur wants the money. He don't want no damn belt. Shakur wants the money. That's
All
all
about-
Shakur sees is the bread.
It's all about the money, man. Yeah, man. That's what it's all about. They prize fighters, man.
Yeah, but
They're prize fighters.
the prize becomes bigger with belts on the line. Belts that we've been knowing for hundreds of years. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, man. I understand it, but like Shakur Stevenson, I don't compare him with nobody, bro. That's just Shakur Stevenson. Just like I do Terrence Crawford and Boots, I put them in their own lanes. I don't compare them to other fighters.
But that's how Shakur became Shakur, is winning championships in 4 different divisions.
Exactly.
Like, that's how he
facts.
became who he is.
We can't destroy the path. Do we know Bud Crawford without his 3-time undisputed championships inside 3 different divisions? Like, we can't erase history. That's what made you you. That's what made you, man.
I like how they fight. I like how they
that's amazing too. But what were they fighting for? You understand? What was the end goal?
I mean,
it wasn't just
I understand you. Like, you know, when a athlete like yourself or whoever you guys play the sport, it's all about winning everything. It was, you know what I'm saying, winning championships. I mean, sorry. So that's how we got down with it. I get it, but now this is a business and it's all about the money to these fighters. So what can we say?
That's another thing too. The belts actually up your purse when you're signed with. For example, when you're signed with Top Rank, you get a certain purse. As you can become a contender, your purse increases. When you become a champion and defend those, not even when you become a champion, you become a champion. Cool. When you defend those championships, your purse increases each time. So the belts
I
help you. You know what I mean?
I agree. I'm just saying, it seemed like what happened to Terrence Crawford, what happened to Shakur Stevenson. They seem like they don't care about the belts no more. They don't care about getting their money and fighting. I guess we have to wait and see. They start fighting the elite fighters that we want them to fight. Because they say, like, I'm a Shakur fan. He say he's the best in the world. He had to prove to himself he is, and he had to fight the people that he said that he could beat. So I don't knock it, man. Like, and it's true. Like, these boxers, they are getting screwed by these promoters and different kind of companies. So I'm all for the fighter getting their money, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Like, if you can get paid,
go ahead,
man,
Amino,
go ahead and get. Yeah. If you can get paid, bro, get your bag. I have no problems with, like, Shakur going to Zuffa. Clearly, he went because he's getting a big bag, right? But again, like, what does that do to the fights? And then what does that do to the competition? You're getting the bag, but is it going to be harder now for you to get these fights? It seems like the only fight that's reasonable that the fans want is the Devin Haney fight, and that's because Devin Haney isn't with any network or with any promoter.
Yeah.
I want him to. I want that guy to fight. I want him to fight all the guys that I don't like talking about it, but I have my own Shakur list. But he
What's
gonna
your
do what
list,
I
bro?
tell
What's your
him.
list?
Number
Let's
one,
hear it.
number one,
Let's hear it.
number one dude that I want him to get down, but he turned his back on him is Tank Davis. That would be my first one. And he get out the way because um, and then after that it'll be, but I call it clout chasing. He clout chasing them, but I don't care. He need to get his ass whooped. But that's Shockey Foster. That's the next on the list. And then he ready to beat T.O. He ready to beat the 35 team and Ryan and Devin. Those the other ones on my list. And then Roach. I could go all day. Like I want him to fight a whole
Right.
bunch of these guys. But like I said, the business side, the
Right.
everything
There you
else
go.
that come with it. I can't argue with nobody about that, man. It's
But
Shakur's decision who he wants to fight, what company he gonna go to. Only thing I can do is support and just be a fan, man. That's it, man. I can't do nothing else. Say nothing else. And
well, I mean that's if you listen to the Shakur detractors, that's why they saying he ducked when he went to Zuffa. They saying he ducked because now, like I was saying, it's going to be harder to get those fights done. So you got your money, but will you be able to give the fans? Will you be able to deliver to the fans the product that they're expecting? You say you can get all these big fights done, but Tank don't fuck with Turkey, so it's going to be hard to get him over there. Devin is a free agent. You can get the Devin fight, but Shockey is with Top Rank, and that's on DAZN. Like, why would DAZN send Shockey over there to fight instead of just having him fight in-house against Navarrete? So that's the problem. When you hear all of Shakur is ducking and all of that shit, that's where that's going to be coming from. Personally, I don't think he ducking. I think he one of the best fighters in the world. I think he will fight all these guys, but he has to admit, and we have to admit, that move is going to make this shit a lot more difficult to get done.
yeah, we just have to wait and see. That's what I said, man.
We got to wait and see.
They promised him something, so they have to deliver it as well. So we'll see what they have, man. I can't, he got his bread. They promised him something, so let's see if they deliver. If not, boxing just gonna keep being what it's being. Like we ain't seeing the fights that we need to see because the promoter. Like I heard Eddie Hearn say when I think it was the boots fight, he was like, I'm competitive. Oh fuck. He didn't say it like that, but he said forget Dana White and all this. I'm competitive. And Oscar De La Hoya the same way. I'm competitive and all this stuff. Like, what's up? Like, if we paying, I want to see what I want to see. I don't want to you guys keep giving us what you guys want us to see. I want to see what I want to see. If we paying too, you know what I mean? We get that the promoter's supposed to pay for the fights and stuff, but come on, man, like you want to get paid. What the people is talking about, some fights, you guys should make it happen. You know what I mean?
But
And
I
the
think
fighters should be willing to be like the fighters should be willing to be like, let's go ahead and get it on. You know what I mean? Make a phone call and say, man, I'm going to fight you, man. And let's talk to promoters and whoever, and let's get it going. Like, I believe in that. Like fighters calling each other saying, let's go ahead and fight, man. Like the Terrence Crawford and the Spence fight, man. I like that.
yeah.
Tio and Shakur, same stuff, man. I believe in that, man.
But see, if you've been looking at it though, as DAZN gets more and more promoters on their network, a lot of these fights are starting to get done because they on the same broadcast. So that's why we were able to get the Xander versus Boots fight because both guys wanted to fight. They on the same broadcast, and it's easy to make. So that's why I'm saying with the Paramount Plus, it's going to make it a little more difficult. But I want to touch on something Nerd said earlier.
Give me 1 second. Let me ask a question. What was the list? Because my phone cut out. What was the list for Shakur? One more time. I think it was Tank, Oshaki. Who else? Number 3.
Tank, Oshaki. What was your list again? CW.
It really was. I was about to say Tank is either number 1 for me for Shakur, but it's all take out all the 4 kings and then Shockey. You know what I'm saying? But everybody talking about Shockey like that Shakur can't beat him. But go ahead and put him on the list. I'll put him on the list. So that's what I was saying. Then Roach.
Okay.
And then
Nerd, you breaking up a little bit, bro.
Hey man, I have to go though, y'all. Man, I have to
no, I said you wanted to touch on something I said.
Go ahead, but I have to get going.
For coming up though, bro. Appreciate you for coming up, bro. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me on, man. I listened to what he said, but I had to get going now. Go ahead, Nerd.
Go ahead, Nerd. But you breaking up a little bit, Nerd. Yo, Nerd, you still there?
Yeah, bro. My thing was cutting out. My fault, bro.
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah. So you said you wanted to touch on something I said?
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at my boy Tago. Salute Tago. What's up, bro? Right on for stopping through. Yeah, you said something about Keyshawn not quite being ready. To me, I think Keyshawn is ready as far as a fighter, as far as who he is as a boxer.
Yeah.
I think though, only having one fight at 140 and then jumping straight up to 147 to fight Devin is a big ass dude, man. Jumping straight up to fight him. I agree that he needs a fight or two, but I agree for different reasons. I think he needs a fight to get acclimated, you know what I'm saying, to the weight, to the training camp, before he fights a Devin.
I completely agree. You're making sense with that. It's just a jump, like jump up and fight Nair. A guy you already fought at 140. It's kind of between 140 and 135. It's not really the fight we're looking for to see what we're really made up at 140. Like you beat him up in the first fight, you beat him up in the second fight. You got like 2 moments where it looked a little shaky for you. That's about it. We didn't learn much. We kind of saw the same fight. Maybe saw a little bit more improvements. You heard him a lot more. You almost finished him in the 12, but there was not enough time. Maybe one fight at 147 in the top 10 contender in WBO, and then a Haney fight, depending on what happens with him and Shakur. But he's gonna be elevated to the champion, isn't he?
If Devin fights Shakur, Keyshawn will be elevated to champion. Do you think we get the Devin and Shakur fight next, or do you think we get the Keyshawn and Devin fight?
Devin's gonna go where the money is. I don't think he really cares about the WBO belt like that.
Bingo. That's it. Like I said, I've been telling all the Devin fans online, they still talking about Keyshawn. I said Devin is going to take that Zuffa money and fight Shakur. He's taking that Zuffa money. He's going to fight Shakur. Tago say, we heard. Yeah, we heard, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm just spitballing like the numbers comparison. Probably like Devin will probably make like a 5 to 7 million. fighting Keyshawn compared to a nice 20 million maybe with Shakur. You know, like there's levels.
Yeah.
A potential great in boxing compared to an already potential all-time great, right? Keyshawn's a one-division champion, and he beat the worst possible champion at the WBO to get the title. Let's not forget that.
And if you lose to Keyshawn before you get to Shakur,
Man,
and the Shakur's the big bag, right? That's why I was telling people like the whole Boots versus Bud on BLK Prime was all bullshit. He would never take that fight before he gets that bag with Spence. Never. So I don't see Devin doing the same thing. Like, why would I take a Keyshawn fight and I could get this big bag with Kerr? That just does not make any sense. So I think,
you know, I'm a big Boots fan. I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm always being honest. I feel like Bud wins that fight, but I still feel like Boots will give him the toughest fight of his life. At the time before the Errol Spence fight, he would have given him the toughest fight of his life. I really believe so. Now, even more so.
oh
But in
well, now
2023,
if you're saying Bud will win now, like I think Boots will right now. If Bud jumped his ass off the couch, I think Boots would destroy him. Back then, right after fighting, yeah, I think he would actually destroy him. But back then, right after he fought Roman Villa, I think Vegas would have favored Bud. So, I mean, I wouldn't pick
there's
him,
no
but
Bill
yeah,
favor Bud if he comes out of retirement. No.
I don't think Vegas would favor Bud today. No, I think they would favor Boots.
Nah, they definitely would favor Bud. They definitely would.
If the money coming in on Bud, then yeah. But I think Vegas not in the business of losing money, brother. I don't think they gonna, bro. They're not gonna favor this 39-year-old nigga who fights once a year, jumping off his couch like they know what Canelo is. Like we might not know, but they seen the Skull fight. They seen the Bud versus Madrimov fight. They seen Boots at 154 and they seen Bud at 154. They not in the business of losing money.
Bro, how do you see that fight going?
Which one? I think it's two totally different fights now. If you're talking about Bud versus Boots today or back when
today.
In 2023. Today? If you listen to Boots today on the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark now, he said guys can't keep up with his pace. I don't think Bud will be able to keep up with that pace, especially at his age. Boots is taller, so Bud is punching up at him. Boots is faster, like in that 54, he's more powerful. Like what? He's more creative. He's a better switch hitter. What y'all just saying, Bud gonna have like impeccable timing and time him. Like that's nah, bro. I think that I don't think it's. I think Boots really steps on Bud if they fought now. Like I do.
I understand what you're saying. Being a fan of both, but bigger fan of Boots, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. The more you throw, you're gonna give him more opportunity to counter. Now, a pass for victory for Boots, in my opinion, is if he brushes Bud, because Bud takes time in the first 3 rounds to like really get his stuff together. You understand what I'm saying? Like he like really downloads data and whatever, like throw shots, see how you move, see how you react to certain things, see how you react to the speed. What about this right hand to the body? Like certain things like that, this jab, this double jab to the head. Like he looks at your reactions to everything, right? So if Boots comes out blazing, it can go one or two ways. Bud catches him, but his reflexes aren't what they were. You understand what I'm saying? You're not gonna get faster at 39 years old,
Exactly.
especially after a shoulder surgery. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think we might be sleeping on, like, come on, like, to me, when a fighter works as hard as Boots works, bro, like he's back in the gym already and he's constantly learning the sport, I don't think he's just going to let Bud like just make an adjustment on him. Or let's say Bud figures out Boots' timing and he catches Boots with a good shot. Bud hasn't proven to be a knockout puncher above 147. And so I think if he does catch his Boots with a good shot, I think Boots can make an adjustment like, oh shit, he's really cracking. Let me pull back and box a little bit more. Like he didn't, like, even though he was active versus Villa, you could tell that Villa had more power. That's why he broke Villa down a whole lot more and got him to the 10th round. You know what I'm saying? Before he actually got him out of there. I think that's what he would do. I think he would pull back a little bit if he feel like you cracking, and then he would, you know what I'm saying, break you down a little bit more. But to me, speed, I know people always say timing beats speed. If I could have one attribute, I'm always going to take speed. Speed, to me, like damn near in every sport, speed fucking kills.
It
And
kills,
if I'm
bro.
bigger than you and I'm faster than you, and I think he's faster than Bud, easily. I'm bigger than you. I'm faster than you.
Speed and fundamentals, you'll go around the world, bro. If you have fundamentals while you have speed, man, that's something Ryan Garcia lacks. He has a whole lot of speed, lacking all the fundamentals. He's a world champion throwing shots with his eyes closed still. Throwing hooks with his eyes closed. Like, bro, what are you doing?
But you know, that's what they try to say about Boots is he don't have the fundamentals, but that's where they wrong. Because if you look at his punches, if you look at his punching technique, that motherfucker turned his shots the right way. Like motherfucker is a master at this shit, bro.
Bro, he has some of the best technique in all of boxing, so I don't know what they're talking about fundamentals. He has all the fundamentals, but the great ones make mistakes. For example, Muhammad Ali, he broke every single rule in boxing. He fought with his hands down. We call him the greatest of all time. Manny Pacquiao threw 1,000 punches, and he was throwing with his chin in there. But it was the speed, and they couldn't catch it.
And that motherfucker was jumping in too, bro. With his
chin, jumping into his chin. But his offense was his defense.
He was just so fast, and he changed some angles. They couldn't do shit with him.
Yeah, if he was like 2 steps slower, he would have got knocked out a lot more. But they just couldn't deal with the speed and the pop as well. He had speed with pop, a rare combination.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Boots and Bud, that's a fantasy fight, man. I would have Boots. I would pick him. But you can't really ask me about Boots because I honestly don't see how you beat this nigga, bro. Like he too big, he too fast, and he too fucking vicious. I think you gotta knock him out to fucking beat him. That's just what I feel.
Yeah, he's one of those guys you have to knock out clean, bro. He's gonna keep coming.
You gotta get him out of there, bro. You gotta get him out of there.
A clean left hook to the chin.
Because as we've seen, even if you hurt him, he's still fucking throwing. He's still coming at you like the Terminator.
He's still moving his head. He's clinching smartly. He's throwing to the body. That's another thing. He started shoe shining Xander's body. Took a little energy out of the assault that he was putting on Boots. That's what people didn't realize. He was clinching, turning him, clinching, trying to get around him. Xander was bullying him. Xander was doing a good job bullying him. Straight shots down the middle. That's what people got missed. It wasn't even the right hand that hurt him. The first exchange where he caught Boots while he was throwing, he threw the right hand while Boots was throwing the right hook, and his right hand got to the target first. And then when Boots came back in, he hit him with the left hook on the temple. That's what got him.
That's what hurt him.
Everybody said, the right hand. No, it wasn't the right hand. It was the left hook when he came off. When he came back in to engage again. So it was like
if you watch,
it was like
if you watch the right hand pushed him back, right?
Yeah.
But Boots came right back in.
Yeah,
he came right back in.
And then it was the left hook over the top, the temple shot. It was right over the top. It was like an offbeat 2-3. It was like a 2 comeback 3. It was really good.
Then, after that temple shot, then you notice Boots start trying to actually tie him up and all that shit. He didn't do that after the right hand.
His legs did a little dance and he caught himself and he clinched. And then he started like, all right, I'm in a fight now. and they started getting caught clean. He was trying to see stuff like, and then he was throwing back with heat too. It was like, God damn, like you just got hurt. How did you? So it was a weird. I've never seen anyone hurt like that and throw heat like I don't know. I haven't seen that before.
But yeah, he was way more hurt watching the fight live than he was.
Yeah,
when you go back and watch it, he don't seem as hurt as he.
I promise you, I promise you, bro. I don't know if you've seen. I sent a picture or video of my backyard. Did you see it in the group chat?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I sent a video of my backyard and the setup. It was like a little gazebo. We put the TV in the gazebo. Under the gazebo, we put some couches on the outside. There was a nice little porch. It was nice, bro. We were watching it, bro. I was standing the entire time, bro. When I saw him got hurt, bro, I started making my way back inside. I kid you not, bro. I was like, yo, bro, I'm about to go to bed, bro. I'm about to go to bed.
Yeah, bro.
There's no way, bro. I got scared, bro. But that's just the fan
Yeah,
of me,
my
bro.
whole mood changed, bro. It was just me and my brother watching the fight.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there. No, I was
man,
at home.
I wanted to be there, bro. Oh man.
Yeah, I was just here. It was just me and my brother watching the fight, bro. And by the second round, nigga, I'm going crazy. Like, I told these niggas stop fucking with this man, bro. I'm like, I'm going crazy, bro. Third round, same shit. Then he caught his ass, bro. And my whole energy changed. I got quiet. I kind of sunk down on my couch. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening? I said, Boots, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was just like, what are you doing, bro?
I was like, I thought, bro, and then Sergio Mora was like, he's beating Boots down. I was like, oh shit.
The commentators are extra about beating Boots down, man. Like, you see the man moving his head, going to the body, still throwing shots. Man, it was a yeah. I think that has to.
But when that nigga Boots, when he slipped them 4 shots or them 3 or 4 shots, I'm like, this nigga is sick, bro. Like, this nigga supposed to be hurt.
Yeah,
he slipped like 3 shots in a row.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. The Matrix doesn't stop. It doesn't matter. It doesn't stop. No matter where he is in the ring, bro. The Matrix doesn't stop. But,
it don't stop, bro. That shit was crazy.
But here's the thing. I missed him. When I was watching it live, I missed him actually hurting him back because I was about to head inside. So I missed him slipping the right hand that Xander, or the left. Was it the left hook? It was a left hook that he threw on the inside. He pulled on that or rolled the shot, and then he came back with an overhand left on the chin. I didn't see that because I was so worried about him getting knocked out.
But he hit him with Boots hit him with like 2 body shots first, didn't he?
No, yeah, he shoot on into the body a little bit. He started hitting into the body. Xander felt that, and then he tried to throw a left hook again, and then he rolled with that shot, and then he came back with the overhand. I missed that in real time. I was like, oh shoot.
Hey, my brother would not let me miss that part. He kept because some people were saying Boots won that round. It's like, nah, Boots lost that round. There's no way we can get around the Boots. Right, but my brother kept showing me, but look, he hurt him at the end. He kept showing me that it was like a 3-punch combination, bro. It was like a right, left to the body, and then he came over the top with a left.
Yeah, after Xander threw the left hook, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, man,
so yeah, that was a hell of a sequence, man. That was a hell of a fight.
Do they have round of the year awards for Ring Magazine?
I believe so.
They might get
people talk about it.
They might get 2 awards that year, eh? Round of the year and fight of the year. They might have to.
I think a lot of people. It seemed like fight of the year, but I think a lot of people saying it was too one-sided to be fight of the year.
Yeah, that was definitely good. I think it's definitely going to win round of the year. No
round of the year, though, definitely. Yeah,
they can't give it. But I actually put a comment under the Ring Magazine post. Remember, I told you about a combination that I posted on YouTube and whatever else, and they took my whole breakdown of the 3-punch combination that Boost landed. I commented under that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm learning this internet stuff. They be stealing, bro. One time, I should tell you back. I think in 2023, I made a post about Shakur, For $1 a day, you can get Shakur Sleeperson pack and whatever 1-800-sleeperson.com. After he fought, I think it was after he fought
Why you was hating on Shakur, man?
Yeah, nah, man, that was a boring ass fight. I understand now
De Los
afterwards the
Santos?
injury report.
Yeah.
The injury report. He didn't have no hands and stuff, so he ended up winning. Good for him, but like it was a boring ass fight. I stayed up late for that, so I made a
Yeah, it
post
was,
making
it
fun of
was.
it. And tell me how a few hours later, Blair Cobbs takes my whole entire caption, posts the same picture on the Instagram, got 100,000 likes or something. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. Like,
Blair
I don't even think
Cobbs?
Blair Cobbs, he stole my shit, bro. Okay. So Ring Magazine
That's
doing it,
fucked up.
it's like deja vu, bro. So
Oh yeah, that fucking, my God, that sequence is fucking nasty,
so
dog.
I made a comment under the post and said maybe combination of the year. Maybe they should do that.
They ain't even thinking about that type of shit without Boots, bro. Like Boots the one that's making that shit combination of the year, shit like that. My boy Tago say, I'm with you, Amino. Niggas need a gun and a heavyweight punch to beat, cuz. Yeah, that's how I feel, bro. Like, niggas can't really ask me about Boots. I don't really even like answering because it's going to sound crazy, but I'm not picking nobody to beat that nigga, bro. I don't care who we talking about. I don't know what y'all seeing, but I know what the fuck I'm seeing. I don't know what y'all seeing. I know what the fuck I'm seeing, though. And I'm seeing something that ain't to be fucking played with, bro. Like, that nigga Boots is different, dog. Like, bro, think about what I'm saying, bro. I've been saying this, bro. Think about what I'm saying. The nigga has every punch in the book from both stances, bro. From both stances. We was watching Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois fight, and they was like, Fabio don't have a left hook. And I'm like, damn, it just hit me that day, like, damn, it's actually fighters that don't have some of the basic punches fighting at the top level. But that's true. Like, I believe Oscar De La Hoya, like, his right hand wasn't really shit for a minute, and then he got a different trainer and got better with his right hand. Like, but it's certain fighters that's fighting at the top level that don't have certain punches. This nigga Boots has every punch in the book from both stances, and he's sharp with them motherfuckers. Bro, like, you can't, I don't know what niggas be seeing, bro. I've been watching boxing for 25 years plus. That bull different, for real, for real. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, dog. Best nigga ever seen personally. Me too, bro. Real rap. And look, when I first seen Boots, bro, the nigga so cold. I'm watching all his fights. I'm like, damn, this nigga look like the coldest nigga I done seen, bro. So what I do, I go back. The two coldest niggas I seen is Floyd and Roy Jones. To me, I go back and I watch a Floyd fight, I watch a Boots fight, and then I watch a Roy fight. And I'm just watching them over and over again, over and over, a different fight of each one of them niggas, just to make sure that this nigga looks on par with what I'm seeing from them. Because these the coldest niggas I've seen. And yeah, bro, like, I'm like, nah, this nigga's different. He's different. Yeah, respect to all the legends, but I know what I'm looking at. Yeah, bro, I know what I'm looking at, and I'm just waiting for this nigga to prove me right. I'm just waiting for that nigga to prove me right. I know I can't really jump out there like that yet, and I know it's reasonable for people to be like, oh, man, that nigga don't compare to no Roy Jones, no Floyd. That's reasonable, bro. He ain't done enough, really. But I'm always early to the party. I'm always early. Once I see it, like, I just see it. I can't unsee it. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Same exact here, man. I'm looking at Floyd and Roy like, dog, Boots both of them in one. Exactly. Exactly. He just need them names. Yeah, of course. He need the names. And here's the key. He got a chance to do something a little different. Like he got a chance to fight a 6'6" nigga. Now one of them ever did that. But all of his competition are all in their prime. So he got a chance to beat these niggas in their prime. He got a chance to beat Fundora. He already beat Xander, Vergil, all in their prime. Kelly not really on that level, but still in his prime, still a champion. If Devin Haney moves up, you know, because Boots got them 2 belts that you was looking at now, Devin. So if you want the 2 belts that Xander had, Boots got them. But Devin in his prime, Ryan Garcia, if they want to move up and get that smoke, we'll see what Amari Jones do and the guys at 160, if they got some smoke for him. But everybody around his weight division is all in their prime. So that's the good thing about him, bro. About what he's able to accomplish here moving up. It's fucking fly. Yeah, that's the good thing about what he's able to accomplish, though. I'm going to get back. I don't know what happened to Nerd. I'm going to get back into this interview a little bit some more, though. But yeah, Tego, I don't know if you heard me, man. Shakur, I've been critical of Shakur because I didn't want to hear him talking about no fucking belts, about Devin need to drop a belt. To me, that don't got shit to do with you, bro. That's irrelevant. Whatever Devin do with the belts is what he do with the belt. You just get your part of the deal done and let him handle his part of the deal. So when I seen Shakur come out today and say, my shit is signed, you see who I'm with. It make all the sense in the world. Zuffa's the ones putting on the show. Shakur's already signed there. And so I'm like, that's what I needed to hear, man. So I got, as far as these negotiations go, I have no more critique of Shakur with the Devin Haney negotiations. Now going to Zuffa, that's a whole different story. I got my issues with going to Zuffa, but not really with him. If he's going to get the bag, that's what he needs to do. But he needs to be realistic with himself, and he needs to be realistic with his fans. That it is going to be a little bit more difficult to get them fights done. So I know some of y'all disagree. It's going to be more difficult, but it's not impossible. And all the shit that people talking about, oh, well, Zuffa don't got 140 weight class. Look, man, all that's bullshit. Zuffa, he's not signed to the Zuffa League. He's signed to the Zuffa promotional company. And so now it's time for that promotional company to, what you just say, Tagos? It's time for them to show and tell. So that's what it is now. And they got to show me they can pull fighters from the zone for Shakur to fight. Because Oshaki's on the zone. Ryan Garcia's on the zone. Now, Ryan works with Turkey a little bit more, so that one's going to be a little bit easier to make, I think. But as we can see, the Ryan and the Conor Ben fight is becoming difficult to make as well. But you know what fight that's not difficult to make? That's the Devin Haney fight. But the Devin Haney fans keep talking about Keyshawn. Devin not fighting Keyshawn, y'all. Devin going to that Shakur smoke because that's where the biggest bag is. That's common sense. That's just how I see it. If I'm wrong, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if Devin passes up a Zuffa bag to go fight with Top Rank for Keyshawn Davis. I'll be shocked. Now, unless he can get the Zuffa bag and somehow get Keyshawn to fight on Paramount Plus or something like that. If Kerr don't fight names, I will hold him accountable. I can't have picks. Yeah, I mean, if he don't fight names, it'll be Dana White's fault. We'll have to hold Dana White and Turkey Al-Sheikh accountable. But what we will have to hold Shakur accountable for is taking that risk of going to the other side of the street. Because I heard you say that it wasn't streets no more, Tago, but it is streets, bro. It's a Paramount Plus street and it's a DAZN street. If I own Paramount Plus and I just signed Shakur Stevenson, why the hell do I want to send him to DAZN to fight? And if I own DAZN and I just signed Top Rank and Golden Boy and the PBC, why do I want to send Gary Russell over to Paramount Plus to fight? Like, those are side of the streets, and that's going to be an extra step in the process of getting these fights done. You think all Kurt fights going to be on Netflix? I don't know if all his fights will be on Netflix. I think I don't know, man. They is sending fighters to Netflix, that's for sure. DAZN been doing that well with AJ, but they only been doing that for fights that's big enough, and they getting big bags to do that. Yeah, Gary Russell just fought on Netflix, but he was not with DAZN. He was with Amazon Prime, who don't have dates. DAZN got dates to fill. DAZN got dates to fill. They not just sending people out like that, bro. They got dates to fill. So I don't know if it's gonna be as easy as some of y'all might think, or as easy as Shakur might even think. Yeah, they gotta pay, but that's not a successful business model. And how many times are they gonna pay? And how many times is DAZN gonna say, okay, fuck it, we'll take the short-term money and let y'all beat us in the long run? Because in the long run, Zuffa's trying to beat them. And if I keep taking this short-term payday to send you my fighters, I'm helping you beat me in the long run. I'm helping you beat me in the long run. So how many times is DAZN gonna take that? Like, say Matchroom overpaid at first. Remember, PBC overpaid at first. Yeah, that's at first. But them different situations. I mean, kinda, because when Matchroom signed with DAZN, that's creating a whole nother side of the street from Showtime and from ESPN. So yeah, but this is kind of different because DAZN has everybody, bro. They got everybody. Now, with them having everybody, they may not mind sending out a couple people to Netflix, to Paramount Plus, because they do have everybody, so they may be able to fill them dates up. So if you look at it from that angle, it might be different. But back to the point, there's a fighter that's not with DAZN, and he's not with Amazon Prime. He's not with nobody. His name is Devin Haney, and Shakur has made it clear that he signed his side of the deal. So all the games that Bill Haney's been playing, I think Shakur put that shit to an end today. He said, my side is signed. So the ball is in Bill Haney's court. You say Abdullah didn't re-up with Top Rank? I didn't hear that. I ain't heard nothing about him being a free agent. Or you saying he still got fights left and he hasn't re-signed yet? And that's why they pulled that stunt with Albert Bell. All right, so, but you got to think about it this way, Tago. I think Top Rank is confident they'll be able to re-sign Abdullah Mason, though. I don't think they're going to lose him to Zuffa, especially if they got the matching rights. Because if they felt like they was going to lose him to Zuffa, I don't think they put him out front on TNT, the fight, for the first episode. I don't think they do that unless they think they can retain him. They're not going to give him that type of publicity for a fighter that's about to leave. So, and then I mean, that's the slow burn though, man. That's the part I don't want. It's the slow burn. It's for Zuffa to slowly pick people off, and we're not getting the fights because it's happening slowly. If you're gonna do it, bro, just do it. Like, just rip the fucking Band-Aid off. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna peep, it's all gonna come out. Remember I said it though. All right, I remember you said that so are you saying that Abdullah's going to Zuffa? Is you saying Zuffa Dula? Zuffa Dula. Is that what you're saying? That's what I need to know. Cause him not resigning ain't really significant if he resigns later to Top Rank. Is he going to go to Zuffa, or is he going to at least make Top Rank match a big bag? But you know what? Dula is with the same fucking agent as Shakur. He's with the same agent, bro. Yeah, T.O. just signed exclusively with the Zone. But what if Devin hit us with the pump fake? And what if Devin signs like a deal with the Zone? They don't need Top Rank no more. I mean, Zuffa's just another promotional company, bro. So if you don't need Top Rank, you don't need Zuffa. Paramount Plus not signing people directly. I'm not sure the Zone is really signing people directly besides T.O. I don't know if that's going to become a normal thing that they do. It's the same formula with Jay Prince. Yeah, I mean, Dula being with Jay Prince and signing directly to the Zone or directly to Zuffa makes sense, since he just did the same shit with Shakur. Right. But I don't know, man. Like, Zuffa just another promotional company at this point. And then what about the fucking Zuffa League? When does the league kick in? When does all this shit merge together and start to make sense? Like, that's the part I'm struggling with. When does it all merge together and start to make any sense? Because right now they're just a promotional company. I know they're still trying to get the league shit through Congress. That shit hasn't been passed yet. So, but what happens when the league shit happens? Do they sign Shakur and then they get Zuffa Dula over to Paramount Plus or Netflix or whatever, and then they have Zuffa championship belt on the line with Shakur versus Abdullah Mason? Is that what we're looking at? So there's a lot of variables right now, man. A lot of shit, a lot of moving parts. But right now, the first step, just to keep it locked in to what's in front of us, the first step is Devin Haney. Matter of fact, let me see if anything else came out from Bill, any more narratives or anything like that. Because the first step is Devin Haney. Nah, nothing from Devin. He's talking about a 6-figure monthly salary. he hasn't responded to Shakur saying, I signed already. So I don't know what to take of that. Like I said, real negotiations happen offline. So that's where I stand with it. But Bill and Devin been online with everything. So I would think that Bill or somebody would respond to Shakur saying, I've signed already. There's no response to that. Devin talking about some other shit. Ain't been no response to that yet. Let me see. Devin Haney's massive six-figure monthly salary revealed in custody battle. Bro, this is see, this all these niggas be talking about, bro. Like, we don't give a fuck about your monthly salary, bro. Is you fight this nigga Shakur or what, bro? Like, damn. Like, what's really going on, man? Is you fighting this dude or what? That's what we want to know. Shakur said he done signed his deal. He's with Zuffa. Bill hinted at $100 million deal, what seems like months ago at this point. The Devin, you ain't fought since November. Give us something, bro. Where's the announcements at? This boy Devin is at risk of being removed from the pound-for-pound rankings. Devin's at risk of being removed from the pound-for-pound rankings for inactivity. Make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all came through, though, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Definitely appreciate all the love I've been getting. Channel been growing fast on TikTok, on X, on YouTube. So I'm gonna keep grinding, bro. Keep grinding. But as far as this Devin and Shakur shit go, if anybody want to debate, if a Devin fan or Shakur fan, if y'all want to debate, come here and debate. I'm a mediator. I ain't got no horse in the race. I'll call it right down the middle, bro. I've criticized Devin on this topic. I've criticized Shakur. Shakur should have never been worried about that man belt. You went to Zuffa, you dropped your WBC belt. Belts don't matter to you, bro. Stop talking about belts and Keyshawn belt and all this old extra shit. That shit doesn't matter to you, right? So you shouldn't even be talking about Devin belt or what he's doing with it unless you trying to get the motherfucker around your waist. It shouldn't matter what happens with him and Keyshawn. Let Jay Prince handle what happens with Keyshawn. Let Bob Arum handle what happens with Keyshawn. That's not your job. So when we got word today from the horse's mouth, Shakur Stevenson, that he has signed his side of the deal, all the media shenanigans, all the game that Bill Haney been running on you guys, that shit comes to an end today. You believe that at your own, if you want to believe that. But right now, if we don't see Devin sign, if we don't see Bill respond, we know that them guys have been exposed. And I'm just calling it how it is. I ain't got nothing against the man. I'm just calling it how it is. If we don't get a response from Bill, if we don't get a response from Devin, then guys have been exposed. I've been super tough on Shakur during these negotiations. But Devin, you're supposed to be the first one at Zuffa. What's taking so long? Shakur beat you there and already signed his side of the deal. What's taking so long? Kick this shit into top gear. You about to be removed from the pound-for-pound rankings, buddy. due to inactivity. You got a big win at 147 and ain't fought or announced a fight since. Keyshawn Davis, who you're trying to fight now, Keyshawn Davis has fought twice since your last fight. Twice. He fought in January versus Jermaine Ortiz. And he fought a couple months ago versus Nahir Albright. He's fought twice since your last fight, bro. Come on, man. So, yeah, man. So now we're just waiting to hear from Devin, man. Waiting to hear from Devin. But what are we hearing from Devin? He's worried about a 6-figure salary. Like, that's the shit he's posting about. This is why Boots about to take this shit over. This is why he about to take this shit over, man. Because I think boxing fans are to the point where they want to see the fucking scraps. The Twitter drama, all that shit's interesting for only so long. Only so long. The shit was about to die out, and then G Money jumped on and got the Twitter shit back popping. And we know when he come around, we know all eyeballs are coming around. All ears are coming around. Everybody trying to see what's next. But even G Money just slowed down on Twitter. But we still got Devin and Bill Haney running game on their fans. We still got Bill Haney going to all these little channels, feeding them messages. Now Keyshawn want more than 25%. Why wouldn't he want more than 25%? What fighter goes into a fight saying they want 25%? Keyshawn Davis, that's a big fight. It ain't going to be 50-50. He not on Devin level. He can't be asking for 50-50. But can he ask for 35% of the pot? That's reasonable. Why would you try to offer him 25%? Like, do y'all want to get deals done? That's why you working on your 8th motherfucker that you negotiating with now. But it is what it is, man. Again, hit that like button if you came through today. I'm going to just summarize my thoughts on everything that took place today. Just summarize one more again. I'm so glad that Shakur cleared up that he signed his side of the deal. Like, that's what we needed from him. That's what we needed to hear. The ball is in Bill and Devin Haney's court. No more games. No more fake negotiations. Like, it is what it is now. Either you're going to fight Keyshawn or you're going to fight Shakur. But quit saying Shakur's ducking. He's with Zuffa. He's signed. He's ready to go. If that fight don't happen, we know it's because Devin Haney ducked. Bill Haney did not want his son in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. Simple as that. The other news of the day. Showbizz the Adult said the Vergil Boots fight is almost done. I'll call cap because Boots was just on the Pivot podcast and he said he wants Fundora next. Boots went on another podcast and he said he wants Fundora next. Eddie, in a recent interview, said Boots is hyper-focused on going undisputed and he's looking for Fundora, or Kelly next. So I don't think Vergil Ortiz will be next. I think that similar to Bill Haney, we got Rick Merigian and Robert Garcia playing media games. And a lot of y'all fall for that bullshit. Not over here. One thing that I'm very good at is reading these narratives, reading through these narratives. And from what I can see so far, from the evidence that's been presented, Boots will be fighting Josh Kelly in Atlanta, most likely. And if we're able to get Fundora to bypass that mandatory, it may be Fundora in Atlanta. That's what we're looking at. These guys fall for the narrative so easily, man, so easily. But that's what we're looking at, y'all. But appreciate everybody for coming through. Again, I'm just a nobody trying to tell us somebody something, but I do know a little something. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Keep rocking out with your boy. Again, I just been around for just over 2 months now, and I'm already coming up on 2,000 subscribers across X, across TikTok, across YouTube. So definitely appreciate all the love people been showing me, and appreciate y'all for coming through. Again, hit that like button, that hype button. That shit is free. If you want to donate to the channel, you see the Cash App on the screen right there. And let's see who gonna end up being the face of boxing, man. It's right there for the taking. Tank done left the void. He done left the void. So is Boots gonna take it? Is Shakur gonna take it? Is Devin Haney? Is he gonna take it? We'll see. But I'll keep y'all updated.